Have you ever heard of the Zodiac killer?
Definitely. I feel like
There's also a movie about. I'm not gonna lie. The movie, I think it's on Netflix, something like that. It's really good.
Yeah,
it, like,
the movie's really good too.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And so Zodiac killer, right? So the Zodiac killer is obviously a famous serial killer, an elusive one too, because he never got caught, right? So he mostly like killed people around like Northern California, so like Vallejo. He killed one in San Francisco and stuff
Didn't
like that.
he also kill one like the couple in like
So
lake?
he killed. Yeah, it was like in. It was in a lake up Northern California, like over there by Vallejo, kind of a lake closer there.
Yeah.
But he did. He did, and the way he did it too was like, yo, he hog tied them.
What?
Hog tied them.
Hog tied them?
You know what that is?
No.
So he'll like, you know how they tie the hogs? You don't know?
Like,
so, like
with,
essentially
like, their hands together?
No. The hands behind and the legs behind. So they like all the arms and the legs are essentially tied together.
Yeah.
And both of them. And when he was doing that, he killed them with, obviously he like, I have a gun, don't do this and all that, but he killed them with a knife. But he killed, obviously it was a female and a guy,
Yeah,
right? I think they were a boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. And mind you, this is a lake, so it's a huge lake. So nobody, there's people, but like the chance of you being close to somebody, and you're a couple, you don't want to be privacy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? There's not gonna be nobody around. And so apparently, like they were like just chilling by the lake, just a couple, romantic like little date. And the guy, he saw him coming from afar, and I guess he had like a suit, not a suit, but like his own like costume, I guess. He was wearing like little like bag over him, and then he had like a symbol, like a cross symbol with a circle, like the little gun sight thing.
Yeah.
That on his chest, on his shirt, something like that. And he saw them, and then he had a gun. The Zodiac killer, he had a gun. Told them, hey, you guys don't do anything dumb, don't call 911, all that. And he hog tied them, and I guess his whole motive, the whole motive was to murder them.
Yeah.
It wasn't to like rob them.
No.
So he hog tied both of them, and then he had a knife, like a big one knife, and he just started going ham on the. Obviously, his whole plan was both. So he did both of them, but he didn't end up killing. Because you know how compare a gun to like a knife, you have to hit like obviously like arteries or like certain organs. You have to hit certain things to like bleed out and stuff like that. But he did that to the wife, and the wife ended up dying. But the guy, he ended up surviving. Really? He was the only one who survived. To the best of my knowledge, I think he was the only one that actually saw him and survived.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so he was like I said, he was known between the 1960s and 1970s, and so they officially like linked him to 5 murders, but he claimed to have as many as 37. So he was like bragging about it, like, "Hey, you guys only know about 5, but I've been doing this since a while. I have 37." But like I said, we don't know if he was just bragging, or if if the cops just couldn't find the other bodies. But yeah, so his name was the Zodiac killer, and like I said, he was between the 1960s and 1970s when he was doing all the killings. And so the thing about the Zodiac killer is that when he would commit a murder,
he would send messages.
Yeah, he was sending like a cryptic message. Not like a message, "Hey, I did this." No, the letter would be like, "I am the Zodiac killer," and then it would be like a cryptic message, like not like English, like squares, triangles, and all that. And then you have to figure that out to figure out what he's saying. And after every single murder, he'll send them out to like SF Chronicle, New York Times, basically like the biggest of the biggest news articles out there. And he'll send them, and to bribe, because anybody can, after something like that happens, anybody can say, "Hey, I did it," but he'll actually send evidence, like a ripped shirt of one of the victims, or like a thumb, or like blood stain, like a body part of like the victim.
Whoa,
yeah, and then to the New York article times, like New York Times, SF Chronicle Times, and also sometimes to like police stations to tell them, "Hey, I'm the one who did it."
Yeah.
I'm the because you know how like based on when it's a like a investigation, like the media or like the officers, they don't like say anything, like it's still an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna say who did it or like what was used. You know what I mean? Because it's still ongoing. So he's like, "Oh, okay, I know you guys are investigating, so let me prove to you that I'm the one who did it. I did it with this weapon. I did it at this time. The victim has this slashes on her neck or whatever." Like very detailed to make sure that, hey, I am actually him.
Yeah.
Who did it. And so in this encrypted messages, they were just like, hey, I'm gonna do this, basically demanding stuff like, hey, you gotta put me on the front cover of the article, like the front, and then you have to put my encrypted messages and all that, and of what I did too. And if not, like he would demand stuff like, if not, then I would like do this stuff to like certain people, where I'm gonna do this another time this weekend, so be ready and stuff like that.
Damn. So he would like threaten like that.
So he would threaten like, even though he already did it, he committed something like a crime and a murder. He'll send it to the articles, and then he'll say, hey, do this, do that, put me in the front cover. If not, I'm going to do it again. And that's exactly what he did. He just kept on doing it. And it was just a cycle. So whenever, like, they'll come to the scene and they'll see the victims, and they'll see, oh, these are signs of the Zodiac. Next thing you know, a couple of days later, they'll get an encrypted message. But, like, it was... And then he never got caught, because the thing is, obviously, back in the day, there was no DNA, like, database, you know what I mean? So... if there's like, well, if there was, it wasn't like to the point like now. You know what I mean? Like now, if there's a fingerprint, they can scan you and find who exactly who it was. And it'll be easier compared to these are like the 60s and 70s. So like the technology that we have now is like breakthrough technology back then. You know what I mean? And not only that, but also like since it was different counties back in the day. I don't know if this is a thing, but like back in the day, the sheriff, like for example, if you committed. Like, for example, Vallejo is like, Sonoma, is a different county from SF.
Yeah, definitely.
Different county from, I don't know, Oakland, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So within all those counties, they have different departments with that specific victim, you know? So they wouldn't communicate with each other. So that was the thing. When one of them found evidence, the other one wouldn't tell them about it. So maybe the evidence that they found can link to the killer, but they were like,
they wouldn't tell
them because they were trying to figure out who it was for themselves. They were trying to like puff their chest out like, hey, we're gonna find him, and that's exactly what happened. Bruh. And all the evidence when like they're like, for example, like if they have a fingerprint, they wouldn't show their fingerprint to other departments because they want to catch him.
But think about it, like if they actually like came all together, like they would have probably found
and the thing is, they did, but it was like years after. Like next thing, like for example, like I remember one of the evidence was. They found a specific, like the first symbol of the Zodiac killer. Like his symbol. The other departments were like, what is this? We've never seen this before. They never released information out to the public or to any of the departments that can maybe link. They had suspects, but or certain people that they thought it was, but no hardcore DNA, like no doubt it was him. You know what I mean? But he eventually, he got away with it.
Damn.
But the thing is, and also what was hard was, you know how like serial killers, they have like a specific, like they're all female or they're all like men,
they have a
specific like avatar of people who they go after. But this guy didn't. He was all over the place. That's what made it even harder. He didn't have like, for example, like some serial killers they kill every weekend or every day or every time during this highway or road. He didn't. It was random. That's what also made it hard because it was just random. Like how do you supposed to like. Okay, 3 are female, 2 are men, but you can't really like.
You really can't like
How you connect the dots when it's a serial killer who doesn't have a rhythm or a, you know, certain technique and all that, you know.
Yeah, that must have been like really hard to like find.
Imagine being back then, no cops around, and then you see this guy just coming up. Hell no, man.
Bro.
But yeah, they never caught him. So imagine being like the person who did it and like always thinking in your mind, because obviously like a person like that, you have to like not be all the way up there. Because not only that. The Zodiac killer did, he was watching a show. Because you know those shows where they call in? Like, this is, like, for example, there's a psychiatrist, like Dr. Phil or something like that. Yeah. And they call into a phone, like, hey, my name is such and such, I have this problem. So they did that with the Zodiac killer.
Really?
So the Zodiac killer, I guess, he loved this show. It was a psychiatrist who, like, talked to people and all that. Yeah. I forgot his name, but he called into the show. And so the detectives were recording the call. And they were... Back then, I guess they did have the technology to, like, pinpoint where the call was coming from. But the Zodiac killer, he wasn't dumb. He was smart. What he would do is... he'll cut at 30 seconds, he'll turn off the phone and call again. So that they wouldn't track where he was calling from.
Oh, yeah.
And within the thing... It's weird. So I don't know if you know, but in California, there's not that many basements. Because, you know...
No, yeah, because California.
But he had a basement. Which is really weird because I'm like, the chances of you having a basement are like really rare. Yeah. And within the call, you can hear him like, the Zodiac killer. I am the Zodiac killer. I did this and that. If you guys don't believe me, I'm going to do it again this weekend and all that. And then he was like, you can hear him screaming. Somebody screaming in the background. Like, ah. And then he's like, oh, I have these headaches. Like, he has like, something in his mind is talking to him like, you got to do another one. to go to the head. Like,
so he had like voices.
Like he had voices in the head, according to like the recordings and all that. Like he had voices in his head, in order for the headaches to go away. So in order for the headaches to go away,
he had to kill someone.
He had to kill somebody.
That's crazy. That's really
and then
crazy.
all you hear in the videos, or not in the videos, but like the recordings, like in the phone call, just screaming on, and he'll cut it after every 30 seconds to make sure not
to not get tracked.
And next thing you know, come to find out, like a couple months or weeks later, one of the, you remember I told you like he takes like things from the victims to show like, hey, I'm the one who did it. He sent it to the psychiatrist's house.
Really?
Yeah, I think he sent a thumb or like a shirt, a part of a shirt, a bloody shirt of one of the victims. And like the psychiatrist, like,
bro,
the psychiatrist, like, yo, I need security or something. I mean, I would too, man. Like,
that's
yo, the
crazy.
Zodiac. And then at this, because you know when it's a serial killer, everybody's like, oh my god, like he's on the loose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in California, like at that time, he was not very well known, but like it was well known, like who the Zodiac killer.
Yeah.
Like, yo, he did it again, like in the news. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's his Zodiac killer. But obviously now, I'm pretty sure he's dead. You know what I mean? But I don't know if you know that there's that one show on Netflix that just came out.
Wait, isn't it like the Zodiac speaking or something?
No, so it just came out where allegedly that his uncle was a Zodiac killer, and he's like giving in like on a Netflix show, he's giving out like all the information that this is who he was or his uncle was, and that he was a Zodiac, killer and all that.
Yeah.
But allegedly. But there's a show like that on Netflix.
Yeah, I seen
it
like
just came out a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago.
I seen like the preview of it, but like I haven't really like watched it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the Zodiac killer. They never caught him.
Damn.
Crazy.